Welcome back, everybody, once again. Now, mentoring is a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and a push in the right direction. Tonight, we're going to have a tip session on mentorship, and this will take about 10 minutes. Our speaker, Koyoson, is grateful that the true reflection of the true reflection of life manifested itself in the uncertain times that we are in. That life took a pause, but it did not stop. It flowed in other ways, and now we are in a virtual reality that has changed the people that we are. Argwings, the floor is yours to run the tip session. Over to you.
Thank you, Ben. And thank you for so far running the meeting exceptionally well. And it's always said when the student is ready, the teacher will show up. And that is a statement that is true today and 2,000-3,000 years back. And very common, especially if those who follow the Chinese or Confucian theory, or let's say the Shaolin Buddhist priests. And this was something that was ingrained from the wide go. But another important statement is, what's your commitment? And this comes in many ways, and probably for relationships, the word commitment is a very strong bond. And many times when you hear the word commitment, some of us run away, some of us shy away, some of us take it by the horns. And it's said that when you're committed, the universe works for you in all ways. So let me take a pause at this particular point and probably ask you, Toastmasters and guests, what's your commitment? What's your commitment to your journey, especially with regards to you? Yes, I'm talking to you, the person who's looking at me right now. What's your commitment? Now hold that thought, and you probably answer it at the end of this session. And why I'm asking that question, because when you commit, everything I said works for you. And there starts the mentorship journey. Toastmaster gives you a basic platform, but whereby you learn and execute what you see others doing. It gives you a platform to succeed with a ready-made template. It's not dependent on me, Argwings, it's not dependent on Evelyn, but a clear template that says that if you follow these objectives or this structure, you will succeed. But in life, as much as we have a lot of information as we see today, only 10% of us put that information into practice. Despite the fact that you put all this information at your fingertips. Why is it that? It's commitment. Commitment to execute to the outcome that you really want, but not ready to put that effort to get done. So why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because 15 years ago, when I started my journey as a Toastmaster, the fundamental difference that allowed me to achieve what I set out to do was I made a commitment that I'll come for meetings, I will speak, I will take up roles, I will seek out my mentors. And that I did relentlessly. So I will give you a bit of my story towards the end, but now let me take you back to the fact that you've had this question many times before in your evaluations. Did you work with a mentor? What we're simply asking is that, did you follow the basic guidelines for you to succeed in that speech? Today, I must say my mentees are somewhat committed, but I must say in the last 1 year, out of probably 10, I've only had an end-to-end mentor-mentee relationship of about, let's say, 50%, whereby being a mentor is just beyond, goes beyond rewriting or reviewing your speech. The complete set of a speaking engagement, as Ali said, and what you've seen is that you need to know what you want out of the objectives of the speech, but fundamentally, you must do. Must do means that you must learn your speech based on the objectives, cleverly use what the mentor will give you as an input, but fundamentally work with that to come out with an outcome that you desire. And note the word, an outcome you desire, and not an outcome that I desire. The fundamental difference in being a great speaker or being a great person is an outcome that you desire. So fundamentally, the drive to excellence, just like you've seen those distinguished achievements that Sema has achieved, are driven by the excellence or the outcome that the exco want to achieve. And there lies in the statement that you've heard many times, begin with the end in mind. So when you walk into a Toastmasters meeting, the VP education will ask you, what brings you to Toastmasters? Why did you join? And there are many things that come up. One, I want to improve my self-esteem. I want to improve my speaking ability. I want to remove the introvertedness in my life. I want to be a better person. And there are many reasons why people come to Toastmasters. Some come for the social, some come for the self-development, some come for business networks, I must say. But many times is the primary concern is to improve yourself. Is to improve yourself. So I'll give you certain tips that probably I've highlighted some earlier that makes a whole difference. One is the commitment, as I said earlier. And some of the commitment is very simple. Commitment is that I will call my mentor when I'm ready to probably agree on the project and agree on what I want to achieve as an outcome. And that commitment is not sending your speech to your mentor to write, to read, or to draft it, but to say clearly what you want. And then the power of three comes in. What exactly are you trying to message across to your audience? And how does it sound when you write it? Because when I write it for you, I'm writing it my own way of doing it, not yours. Now, authenticity, you lose that which is called sincerity. You lose authenticity when I redraft your speech, because I am redrafting based on what I think is best. So if you want to make it your speech and make it an outcome that you desire, then you need to write that speech based on the objectives of the speech. And that I can help. Secondly, what do you want to achieve from a personal development perspective? There's what you see in the manual, but there's some hidden things that you want to improve on. One is having, for example, improving your body language, or you want to improve your vocal variety, or you want to improve your written speech in terms of an outcome. So there are two ways of looking at it. The club gives you a mentor or assigns a mentor to you towards getting things done. But nothing is cast in stone. If Evelyn is the best person to go to for vocal variety, you seek her out. If Robert Kimani is the best person to give you a flowery, written speech, then that's the person to get to. If you're looking for somebody to give you a speech that is probably direct or full of rhetorical devices, probably you look for Eric to give you that outcome. So you need to look for people that will work for you or will work with you. So many times people get stuck to one person, and the danger of that is that you can probably become a clone of Evelyn, or you can become a clone of myself, and we start sounding alike, because I'll write your speeches, I'll redraft your speeches, I'll give you my vocal variety, stances, or style, and that might adopt to you. Now, secondly, you find that sometimes you transition to the current world. So the current world asks for you to be able to see your opportunities. And what are they? Opportunities are driven by the outcome, again, you desire. So developing your own style is a very fundamental aspect of your speech. And you need to drive that agenda. And I'll just say where commitment stands. Back in the days that where we had mentors who lived very far from the city. We used to go as far as Kiambu to have these sessions, and at the convenience of our mentors. And why am I saying this? Sundays would be a day to seek out your mentor. You need to spend some money, buy your mentor some coffee, some lunch, the commitment to get the end result. So if you allow me just to recap that particular aspect of what mentorship is all about. Mentorship is about yourself. That's one. To get to the end that you desire, you need to make the commitment to get it done. And lastly, you should always get feedback forward, not backwards. Whatever feedback you get, it should be a forward outcome, rather than a feedback that is backward looking. So if you put those three things together, fundamentally your life and basically your speeches will be great. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.